guess I'm doing this. What is going on, everyone out there in the world of
The whole
leaders?
world.
The whole world, the entire, I call us the League of Leaders, Brynn. I am imagining that if you are watching this or listening to this, like LinkedIn is one of the channels that we're on, but this is definitely catered towards professionals. And you've been in and out of LinkedIn. You've gotten LinkedIn bombed where someone connects with you and then pitches you immediately. And
Daily.
you have also, I'll guarantee, have written something that you thought was magic and you posted and you poured your heart out there and you got crickets.
Yes.
Well, it might be that you've been making a couple of mistakes. And Brynn Tillman, she's here to fix that. She is the CEO of Social Sales Link. She's the co-host of the podcast Making Sales Social and the co-author of the best-selling books, The LinkedIn Edge and Prompt Writing Made Easy. She's best known for helping revenue-driven professionals leverage LinkedIn as a powerful sales tool that opens up more conversations by earning the right. Her work centers around a simple shift: detach from what the prospect is worth and to attach to what you are worth to the prospect. Brynn teaches professionals how to position themselves with credibility, share insights that matter to their buyers, and engage in ways that feel natural. Brynn, we are so excited to have you here on Leadership Live. Welcome. Come fix us, please.
Thank you so much. What a incredible introduction, and probably a little long, so I will be cutting that down just a little bit. But so fun. So fun. And thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Well, Brynn, I'm curious how you just now mentioned your age, and I won't tell everyone your age, but I'm curious how you have worked your way up. Usually when people are telling us like here's what you do and they want to give us the tips and tricks when it comes to tech, they're a little bit different generation. They don't have any of the gray and the white on the side. You've earned this. But how did you become the queen of LinkedIn? What put you there? What problem made you decide that this is something you wanted to solve?
Well, thank you. And by the way, I'm happy to say I will be 57 on Sunday, and I give a gift every year on my birthday. This is the first tip. And right now it's 57 ways to catch up, like catch up 57 varieties, really silly on LinkedIn. So I have an ebook that will go out to everyone that wishes me a happy birthday. So I scream my age every year. So anyway, happy to do that. How did I get here? I was in sales right out of college. I loved sales. I hated cold calling, but you had to do it, right? We didn't even have email when I started. Yes, that's a lot of gray. And yes, I earned every one of them. But I worked my way to the field, and I remember in 1992 sitting across from a client staring at his overflowing Rolodex. That's how old I am. Thinking, although some people still have it, but it's like in a museum now. But thinking if I could get my hand on that Rolodex, I could identify who my client knew that I wanted to meet, ask for introductions, and I wouldn't have to cold call anymore. So when I saw LinkedIn a couple decades later, I was like, this was built for me. Because
is this the Rolodex?
LinkedIn is not just your Rolodex, but it's the ability to search and filter your connections Rolodexes. So we can see who we know that knows who we want to know. Mm-hmm. And that's why I fell in love with LinkedIn as a sales tool. And I never looked back.
Never looked back. What was it like those early the grappling with it, and then how did when did you feel like you found kind of like this secret to and I think we all go through an evolution. Did you automatically start out with the idea of like I have to bring value rather than like give more than take? Like what was like how did you discover your way into this?
So there are so many books along the way that influenced the way that I think, right? And authors and sales trainers that have really had a huge influence on where I am today in the way that I do things. I'll start with our buddy Jeffrey Gitomer and the Little Black Book of Networking. Just really like changed the way I looked at sales, that this is about building relationships, not about collecting business cards. And so like that was fundamentally a shift for me in that thinking. The other one Brent Adamson was co-author on the Challenger sale. And actually, early in my career, when I was just doing sales training, I was doing LinkedIn training on the side. I got referred into Aramark. It's a story for another day. And they handed me, after I got the gig, they handed me the Challenger sale and said, can you write a LinkedIn program that supports this book?
Wow.
So, yeah. I'm like, sure. But for what you're paying me, I get to keep the program. Like, I'll write it, but it's my IP. And they're like, yeah, great. So that had a huge influence. And there are a few things like lead to your solution, not with it, right? When you lead with it, it's a pitch. When you lead to your solution, you're bringing value. And then another book by Keenan, which was later on called Gap Selling, gave me one of my favorite of all time, which is you have to master the ask offer ratio. I'm asking you to consume my content in exchange for your time. You are buying my content with your time.
That is so good.
Right? And then once you've finished consuming that, you have one of two responses. And this is sort of my iteration of this. The first one is that was a bait and switch. I thought I was going to get value, but you really pitched me. And by the way, that could be a message. It could be content. It could be your profile. But I thought I was going to get value, but what I got was a pitch. That happens way too often. And with AI, there's this engineered empathy that makes you think they care about you, and then they switch to pitch. And that's even worse, right? Like if they're trying to fool you to think they read your profile or something.
For sure.
Like
Yeah.
The middle one is neutral, and this means that nothing happens. It doesn't hurt your reputation, but you don't start a conversation with someone you're trying to have a conversation with. The third one is compelling, and this is where they go, wow, that was good. This is how you earn the right to get the conversation. If I invested 3 minutes to read this article and I left feeling that was worth 10 minutes of my time, I'll invest 15 minutes in a conversation with you.
All right. Tell us about that one. So compelling is the place where we want to get to. And all of the other stuff is the stuff that we're not. Like, can you tell us what compelling looks like? And then how do we get there? And then I want to get I want to get into the stuff we're doing wrong, but talk to us about like compelling.
Yeah. So I do want to preface this by saying not all content has to do what I'm about to say. You might have content from events. You might have content that's promoting someone, right? And it's not going to all be compelling necessarily, right? But if your content is designed to start trust-based conversations for business development purposes, it's got to land in compelling. And it really needs, we have this aware framework that we talk about. So the first one, and this is like in a post or in a message, the A is attract through resonating with your buyer, right? So as a CEO in manufacturing, and they go, that's me, right? So they resonate immediately. They go, they are talking to me specifically. Create wonder. This is where you have a curiosity moment where they go, ooh, right? So CEOs in manufacturing are struggling with keeping good talent for more than 18 months without burnout. Go, ooh, oh, I wonder why they're talking about this because I'm facing this, right? So I wonder what's happening. Right, so that's AW. Then A is add value. So this is where we are going to give them an aha moment. It could be aha moment where they go, oh, so what are we doing? We have we're short-staffed, and so one of the things that we can do is X, Y, and Z. We think throwing a bonus at someone is going to help them not get burned out, but it's not. Whatever it is that you solve, right? And they go, oh, I didn't think of it that way before. Oh, that's my aha moment, right? Then that aha moment, they have to start reframing how they think about the way they're doing things today. So they go, so that makes sense. Today, I'm doing that. Now I'm going, how can I change that in my environment? And then E is engage. We need to get them. This is the compelling, like if they're compelled, we need to take them from lurker to
Mm-hmm.
engager, which means they like, they comment, they connect with us, they ask us to connect. They come out of the woodwork because we earned the right through good enough content.
Okay.
And when we can do that, we can now start conversations with people that are interested in that content.
Okay. And so attracting people, I'm assuming there are probably some micro parts of like do this in the first line. By the way, formats, right? Written, video, those little scrolly
Well,
things that they have. Like what's carousels? What do you say? Doesn't matter.
mix it up. Mix it
Mix it
up.
up. Okay.
Yep, mix it up. If you do the same thing all the time, people think it's the same piece of content.
Ooh.
So there are some people that just do the carousels, but then they don't, and they're doing them in the same brand color, and they think that, so people think, oh, I've already seen that 5 times, even if
Okay.
it's new content.
So one of the things, maybe you could even look at some of the stuff that I'm doing or whatever, but because like I know I'm doing it not right. I've been doing it for years, but why do you think? I guess like as I'm thinking about this, like you're saying, when you reverse and you say that you give value before you try to think about what you can gain. What does that then say about us if we're doing these aware as our version of posting?
Yeah.
How should we rethink like what it is that we're bringing? Is it like maybe a party where you don't show up with nothing in your hands, you bring a dish? Like like how do we rethink the things? Because then someone's like, I don't know, I have like one lesson in my whole life. Like that's a challenge, right? For some people.
Yes, absolutely. And that goes back to that, the challenger customer thinking, of lead to your solution, not with it. What we tend to do is lead with our solution. We talk about our stuff, not about their challenge. Our goal is not to close a sale with our content. It's just start a conversation.
100%.
So yeah, so another influencer for me is David Newman, who Do It Marketing and Do It Sales author. He very early in my career taught me that the way that you capture the attention of your buyer at the right time is to talk about the challenge they're having before they are at the step when they need you. What is the step before they need you? That's where you have to show up, because now you're showing up in a way that's influencing their buying decision versus halfway through their research, right? Once they know they need you as a solution, they're looking at other people like you. If you can capture them early enough, if you know what's happening in their environment before they even know that your solution is even on their radar, you can be the one that influences them down the path and can help them solve their problem early on.
Do you think, Brynn, is it good for us to solve the problem, give them the methodology, or is it better in this scenario to help them to see what the problem is? Like because obviously they're not engaged in a conversation, but it's almost like we get to go into their mind, like at the moment, like if we're doing that, what is the appropriate way to, like, I don't know if there is an appropriate, like for every one size fits all, but like, what should we be thinking about how to enter into that step before?
Yeah, so a lot of that is I mean, talk to your clients, like what was happening inside of your organization before you reached out to me. Like you can learn, and like
Mhm.
for me, I know sales are down. They either just hired sales reps or they lost a few sales reps and they have the same number, and what they've been doing isn't working anymore, or not as effectively as it used to. And people are saying you got to use LinkedIn, but I don't even know where to begin, right? So I know what's happening in the environment for my prospect. You have to know what are the conversations that are happening in those meeting rooms. What is the mandate coming down from the C-suite or from the board of directors? What is your responsibility? What is your buyer's responsibility? Look at that. This is a big one. If you can find their job description out on the ladders or somewhere, and you can find out what is their responsibility officially, you can bridge your solution to what they need to achieve inside the organization. So there's a lot that you can do to prepare yourself to have the right conversation. But once you've identified that, then your content should talk to those initiatives, talk to those priorities,
So you
right?
just went through like 5 or 6 of those little areas, and anything within that cloud is appropriate because those are the things that they're like sales are down or not sure what to do with LinkedIn, or some of those are areas where it's like, just if you're in doubt, here's your menu. Is that the
Yeah.
idea?
Well, I mean, there are a lot of different challenges that different prospects of mine might be going through. So I'm going to talk to each of those through content at one point or another. That's kind of the list of content that I know will attract my buyers at the right time. You have to decide and determine what is the content that will attract your buyer at the right time, which is early on in the process. I'm not saying don't have content on your website about your solution, absolutely,
Mhm.
but that is not for the top of the funnel, right? That
Okay.
content is once they already know who you are and they're interested.
Yep.
This conversation really is, how do I get to hello?
Mhm. Oh, wow. That's a great that's the sale, by the way. If you can identify the sale, you can figure I love reverse engineer, basically. How do we get to hello?
Yeah.
And that's a part. I want to know what we're doing wrong. And actually, before, all right, can you address the algorithm part? Because sometimes I've had stuff
Yeah.
like why did that just get 31? And then like, oh, this is thousands. And it's like, and so I think a lot of people get convinced that there's either not they're not going to get coverage, but I think there's a message in that in there for us. Like when you see that, and I know that there's maybe even been an algorithm shift even recently, and things that
Yeah.
used to work don't work, or like, can you talk to us about that part of it?
So not only has there been an algorithm shift, there's a significant, almost 180 on the algorithm shift on LinkedIn that really started rolling out in late 2025 and now is completely rolled out with AI in mind. So if you notice, hashtags are not even a thing on LinkedIn anymore. You can add them, but they have almost no purpose. They
Mm,
will not be indexed as keywords any longer. The only purpose of a hashtag is if you have a hashtag and all your content has that hashtag, you can search content based on that hashtag.
sure.
That said, hashtags initially were, here are the key words that I want to be found for. LinkedIn is now looking for it organically, number one. It's just organically. The number two, it's called 360 brew. That means that LinkedIn is looking at your whole picture, the whole 360. Does your content match your comments, match your profile, match the people you're engaging with? It is a full picture, which is throwing people that have side gigs, right? Like, I am an HR
Oh.
professional here, but I have a little consulting or jewelry making business on the side. And it's really hard. Like we used to say, just tell it, yeah, I wear two hats. This is my day job. This is my night job. That no longer works.
Mhm.
You can have two companies on your profile, but it will confuse LinkedIn and it will confuse who sees your content.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So the next piece is who you're engaging with. So one of the things that we've done is we've created a custom list, which you can do in the free LinkedIn, like of all the fuel instructors. And so whenever a fuel instructor shares content, we have a custom list that we can engage with all the right people. And it's so you can customize it. So LinkedIn, the free LinkedIn has a search where you can
Mhm.
click on that and go to posts. You could go most recent and you can add names of people or even industries. So you can now create and then we save it in a bookmark like in Chrome. And now I can click on that bookmark and see one feed of all the right people. So when I'm
Oh my.
engaged, right? So now I have consciously decided that these are the right people that I want to not only engage with, but I want them to see my content too. And this is the magic. When you engage with someone's content, LinkedIn will show them your content in their newsfeed for 2 weeks. If they engage, the 2 weeks will start over. If they don't, it will go away. If someone connects with you or you connect with them, 2 weeks, they will see your content. If they don't engage, they don't see it ever again. So here's the challenge. Why is my content not showing up? Because I'm not engaging with the right people.
Oh my goodness. Okay. So this is funny. I'm just going to give you some history of this. Like I was a
Yeah.
big believer. I use, especially when I was more in sales. I used to use LinkedIn like it was nobody's business. I used it as a referral tool and all kinds of things.
Mhm.
Also, I was engaged differently, and then my career changed, and time went on. It wasn't that it's almost like I showed up as a teacher. Like let me teach you this. And by the way, I feel like no one's interested in what you're teaching, typically speaking, unless it's like uh, I think what you gave earlier kind of addresses a little bit of that. But it's almost like I gathered different groups, like these different friend groups along the way that
Mhm.
might not be relevant anymore. And I definitely am not engaging with them, and they're not engaging with me. And if they see my stuff and don't interact with it, that's worse for me, probably. Is there a way to reset that? Is my question. But you're saying, yeah,
Mhm.
find the
Engage with
people
the
that
right people.
engage with the right people. Oh my gosh, duh. This
Yeah.
is this is because I know on like YouTube, if you like, you can do almost like an algorithm reset where you adjust and make this type of content 4 or 5 times, and so the algorithm says, "Oh, this is who you are." It has a hard time when we do all of the things. It has an easy time when we do one thing.
One thing. Yes.
And so you just like, did you see the light bulb? You just turned it on right there.
Yay.
That's awesome. What are we doing wrong, Brent? Take me into the places of the stuff that you feel like that we're getting it wrong. And you mentioned the mindset of a lot of us are we show up and we want to get rather than give. But other like what are we doing wrong, maybe even tactically?
Well, so the number one tactical thing right now is we're letting AI control our relationships. I call it engineered empathy. I think it's
Ooh.
professional gaslighting.
Oh, okay.
Like I think and I obviously am a huge AI fan, right? Like I live and breathe AI, but we can have AI guide us, but we can't have AI pretend to be us, right? So I get a message, Brynn, I really love the content you shared on
Oh
X,
yeah.
Y,
Okay.
Z.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or, hey, Brynn, I'm really impressed with all your accomplishments around A, B, and C. Have you considered writing a book? I'm like,
Just a few.
right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. So that that was not just AI but automation, right? Where they scraped stuff. I actually added, which I rarely did before, but I added emojis. I added stars into um, my
Yes, and your name, so that they
in my title. So,
title. Okay.
Brynn, noticed you're the CEO at star 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 star.
That's hilarious. Okay. Yeah.
Because I'm like, really, guys, really, right? But and don't ever say I noticed when your AI noticed. It's a lie. It's gaslight. You're trying to gaslight me. You're trying to make me think you care, and you don't, right? Bad. So this is where we do it. So two things. Number one, you've got to slow down your outreach. It will speed up your outcome. Hands down, these are relationships. You would not walk into a a networking meeting with this walk up to them and just say, hey, I was on your website and I think you're really awesome, here's my card, and
Right.
this is how we can help you solve this problem. And you're like,
Yeah.
but like, I'm a human. These are humans on the other side of these messages. They are people. Don't look at them as leads. They are humans, right? So that, like, I think that is so critically important. And so don't send in a robot to your networking meeting. Don't send automation. It does break LinkedIn's agreement as well, and it can get you shut down, but it's also icky. Now, that said,
So
AI is
no automated connect, to be clear, no automated
no.
connections, no bots writing your, and like you do use AI. We'll get into what you also use there, but it's like,
So
but
you
we're
can
not
certainly use a bot to help you write the message, but read everyone before you hit enter.
right. It needs to be really, yeah,
It
you.
needs
Yeah.
to be, and look at it and go, is this honest? Like, for me, why would we start any relationship off with a lie?
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
why are we doing that? Why? It's a numbers game, and maybe I'll fool enough people to want to work with me. It's like, this is broken. This is broken, right? And so it makes me sad. The other thing you said briefly, and I'll reiterate, you need to detach from what the prospect is worth to you and attach to what you are worth to the prospect. When you show up going, oh, here's a list of people I can sell to, you are never going to see success on LinkedIn. You just won't. But if here is a list of people that I can provide value to, I can invite to an educational webinar, I might be able to give insights to, but earn the right first. Little insights, right? They see a piece of content. I earn the right for them to download an ebook. That ebook is good enough that I earn the right for them to want to be part of my webinar. Or when I do reach out, they want to have a conversation. Or I got them to vote on a poll that was really fun and they got to see how they benchmark to their peers. It's valuable in their world. When we show up with our agenda, we lose every time. When we show up when our agenda, though, is to, Steve Jobs would say, I hope I put a little dent in the universe, right? Like his little dent. Put your little dent. Be a micro influencer. Put a little dent in your network. Bring value. Get the reputation of, you got to see what he's posting. Did you see what she put out there? Like, my favorite thing in the world is when someone says, a friend of mine shared your content. I mean, I have other favorite things too, I'll be clear. But one of my favorite things, right? A friend of mine shared your content and it really helps me. Let's connect. That fills me. So when you approach this as, I just want to help as many people as possible, and as a result, people will want to work with me.
Yes. I love what you said. It's so funny. You said being a micro influencer to your group. And I think there's so many of us where it's a weird thing of what scarcity can do, where it's like you're looking like, oh, here's Brynn, but who's behind her? I need to talk. Hi, Brynn. And then we just move on as fast as we can. And the truth is that it's like when you slow down, you said slow your
your
step.
outreach. Yep,
Yeah,
slow down your
down.
outreach to speed up your outcome. Yeah, I had people like, how many connection requests can I send a day? Like, well, how many people are you talking to a day? Because I would say, great talking with you. Let's connect on LinkedIn, right? Like, we don't need to build this list of, and go, okay, every day I'm going to connect with 20, 25 new people, 20, 25 new people every single day without context. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Would it be good with that in mind? Is it possible that after 15 years of someone having a LinkedIn account, is it possible they might need to disconnect from certain people? You have 10,000 people. Does it help to disconnect, or does it matter at this point?
I think there's time well spent in other places, but I do think you should take inventory. You can search your first degree connections, you can export your connections, and let's take a look at, where are these people now, right? What we know from LinkedIn's reporting is that the average tenure of a professional is 5 years at any company. That means that 20% of your connections are moving companies every year. So if you've been on for 10 years, most of your people, unless they own a business, are somewhere else, right?
Yes.
Let's take a look. Where are they? And let's re-engage with these folks. And, I mentioned I'm writing this 57 tips for catching up, but one of the tips in catching up is taking inventory of your connections. And here's the thing, which most people don't know, you can do this. If you go to contact information on their profile, on your first degree profile, it'll give you the date you connected. Oh. So if I reach back, right? If I reach back and I'm like, hey, Alex, I'm not sure if you recall, but we connected back in October of 2022. Now you're like, oh, that was not AI. That was not a random message, because I can see if I have no messages back and forth. I'm trying to think when I connected with Alex. I don't know why I was trying to think. Whatever. It's kind of dumb. But I've used him as an example before. But like when we've connected back. So now I'm like, wow. It's honest. You did. I may not have recalled either, but I just said, I don't know if you recall. Right. So it opens this up very personally. And
Yeah.
then the reason I'm reaching out is we have an event coming up specifically for sales leaders, and I thought you might get some value from it. Here's the stuff we're going to talk about. Let me know if you're interested. I'm happy to send you a link to register as my guest.
You're not just doing it all in one shot. I
I,
love what you're saying, because it's like,
yeah.
I guess I'm like, the takeaway is like there's a genuineness and a reality to it. Now, I want to take us to a place, because like you're talking about this, a lot of people are like, oh, so you're just telling me to go old school and be manual. But Brynn,
Yes.
you are a technology maven also, and so in Fuel, you have several courses, some of them about LinkedIn, but also some of this involves using AI, and you're a proponent of using AI to enhance what it is that people are doing. And so I guess you could say, what is it? I like to say, be, let me stop my share there. Be bionic and not robotic. And so
I love
that's the
that
goal,
line.
right? And so, but that's can you tell us like the safe space? Like, how would you're like, yeah, I can write it, but there's like some actual ways that you do where it lifts like how you speak and who you are, and like what's like, talk to us about how we should be using AI. You can use Brynn AI on
Yeah.
menfuel.io, and she'll give you all of this stuff. But if you were to tell us and to how to take a small step in that direction, how can we start to use it in a way that doesn't make us robotic and keeps the genuine feel?
Well, I mean, so by far using the right prompts helps, right? Like you want to make sure. So I'll start with I have my book with my co-authors, Stan Robinson Jr. and Bob Woods. We talk about the crispy prompt writing, which is context. I know context, role, inspiration, scope, prohibitions, and you. You are the questions that you want AI to ask you to interview you, right? So the prohibitions sometimes are the most important piece of all of this, right? The prohibitions are what we don't want AI to do. So I don't want AI, to use M dashes, or I don't want AI to have not this but that, or
Oh,
segmented,
I hate that one. Yes.
right? Like immediately, to have segmented sentences, right? Like it use commas instead of periods after every 3 words, right? Whatever that looks like. So you have to teach AI, number one. So that's number one. You have to teach it how to think. And it's still not perfect. Sometimes I'll say, remember, and they're like, oh, sorry, I forgot that was a rule, right?
Hmm.
So you still have to think that way. You have to be hyper aware of these AI tells, right? And you've got to edit through that. Okay. The next thing is the you. Make sure. So I have any kind of prompt, and if you use Brynn, I have Brynn.ai goes to my fuel. So if you're using Brynn.ai, it
Wow.
isn't that cool?
Did you really get Brynn.ai? That is, and by the way, you guys, if you're what you can click what we have here or scan that, and it'll bring you right into Brynn's material. Brynn.ai. How
No,
much did that cost?
not much. I bought it like 3 years ago. I just redirected it to fuel, right?
You're
So
so brilliant. Wow.
everyone should go buy their own name AI for sure if it's still available. Anyway, because you're going to need it at one time or another. But you'll notice it will ask you questions if you run a prompt. It's not going to just run a prompt. It will walk you through questions. I think pre-call planning is one of the most powerful ways to use AI, right? So if you run through our pre-call, like I'm getting ready for a call,
Mm-hmm.
I have discovery questions that are in a prompt. I have, right, that are going to bridge to the LinkedIn profile. I don't know if you know this, but you can download anyone's LinkedIn profile, even if you're not connected. So you can go to the more button or resources. It depends on and then there's download as PDF. I can upload that, and I have a pre-call planning prompt that gives me a SWOT and a competitive analysis and all the things that we need for it to do in advance of a call. But
Mm-hmm.
if you have discovery questions that or you're going to want to ask, you can easily put it into, and of course I want you to use Brynn.ai, but you can go to any LLM and upload their profile, give them their job description if you have it, give them the website, and say, I am having a first meeting with this person. Here are the 5 discovery questions. Please bridge my solution to their position, and it will do a beautiful job.
Mm. Awesome. I like you said LLM. I like the, we can all get the general advice that's out there, and it's okay-ish, but I really like that people like you're offering a way for people to narrow in on, hey, if you like how I say it and do it and how my brain works specifically, I've carved these paths out over the past 20 years or however long you've been in LinkedIn. You can access that. It's all right here. What a power move for you to get
That
Brynn
is
AI.
something that is something. If you go to any other LLM, and they all have their purpose, believe me, I love a lot of them, but you are going to get an inconsistent answer, right? Because it's going to go find the answer of other voices. So you can put that in and you'll get a pre-call planning, but it might pull from maybe someone who teaches something that isn't aligned with the way that you think or the way that your company is positioned to think. So
Mhm.
having kind of these encapsulated expert AI, I think you 100% know what you're going to get. And I test my AI all the time. I will ask it a question that I don't know how to answer, and it will say that is not a question that I'm an expert at. And like it will say that. It won't guess. It won't try to come up with, something. And that's one of the reasons I love Fuel so much, is
I
because you're
love it.
not going to get a random answer from something that it found on Google that's not even verified, right? So
I think that's there's a danger in just becoming a part of some amalgamated, homogenized, like there's no proper dosage with anything that's going out there. The
right.
whatever the creature is that is AI is it doesn't know you specifically, and it doesn't know exactly just Brynn's stuff. I think there is power in the finite and in something that is personalized and dialed in. Brynn, you have been so generous with us today just to share the stuff. Like this has taken you a long time to learn. You share this with people for a lot of money. You make, like this is what people pay you for. I
And
want to
sometimes
know,
not a lot. Just
I mean,
depends.
but you would do you're just so good at this and it's so natural. And I just want to I want to ask you this, Brynn, if you could help us to make like I'm seeing some LinkedIn stuff, I'm seeing some AI stuff that people don't need to be afraid of. If there's someone that has been in the cold because let's just say they haven't needed this stuff before and they're realizing I got to play catch up. I'm wondering if you can give one practical step they can take today, and then Brynn, tell us how we can get more of you in our lives. Tell us where we can find you.
So one practical step, I would say, um, create in the free LinkedIn, even if you have Sales Navigator, you still want to do this in the free LinkedIn, create your ideal filters of your prospects, of your ICP. And I'm always thinking in terms of business development and sales. So if you're not in business development sales, this isn't going to work for you. But if you are, so by title, you could use by industry, by geographic location, like who do you want to meet, and use the first degree filter. So that's going to give you, that's taking inventory of your connections. But that link that you get, and we talked about that
Mhm.
with the post, that link is actually a filter. Like that represents the filters. So if I share that link with you, or I share that link with a client, they will then see a list of their first degree connections that I want to meet. And
Oh.
so this becomes an incredibly powerful link. I actually bought brynconnections.com and I redirect to my link, right? So anyone can go to brynconnections.com and you can see a list of people that you know that I want to meet, right? And so all of a sudden now, this becomes our most powerful networking tool, our most powerful tool to get referrals. And then teach your networking partner how to do the same thing.
That oh my gosh, that's ninja move. I just now went there and did it. Brynn, whoo!
How many people do you know? Go to the bottom and see how many pages. Is there 10 or more pages of people that you know?
I have 10 or more pages. Yes.
You have over 100 people that I want to meet in your network.
I will find some people and introduce. Oh, okay. Bonus. How would you cue me up to like what would you say to the person that went to your thing and they found this? Like, how do you ask for that connection? I know it's not that.
Yeah, so
How
it
would you do
depends on the person, right?
it?
And I personally, so there's a couple, I mean, I have so many paths. One of them I love, I call prospect by event, where I have an event where all you have to do, like event on LinkedIn, and then all you would do, you could share your screen and invite people to that event for me, right? Like, so you can just put somebody's name in and it will, you could put 15 people in 3 minutes. Like, it takes no time at all, and invite people to my event. I then screen captured that in my Sybil, like in my Fathom or whatever you're using, right? And I'll go back and I'll be like, Don, you invited me to your to my event coming up. I wanted to reach out and introduce myself and connect. And all of a sudden, this becomes this warm connection that is incredibly powerful. So that's one way. The other way is name drop, right? So I was talking with Don the other day. Your name came up. He says, hello. The reason we were talking was I have an event coming up and I'd love to connect with you. And he thought you might get some value. I'll connect and I'll invite you as my guest. Things like that. But there's lots of paths. If you don't have events, there's 50 other things you can do.
I stinking love this so much. You have no idea, like what just like my brain is just going 1,000 directions. Brynn, obviously we can find you on LinkedIn. How should we find you? What should we? How should we engage Brynn Tillman in our
Yeah, go
world?
to Brynn.ai and ask me anything for 7 days without a credit card.
Let's go. I gotta confess, Brynn, my love had grown cold for LinkedIn. My love had grown cold. I'm like, you know what? I'll go to YouTube. They'll listen to me, and they are. But you've warmed me back up. You've let me see that this is a warm place again. This is me, but I'm sure it's
Yay,
other
welcome
people as
home.
well. And
Welcome.
this is like you've made something that can seem difficult super easy. You've given something to the person that wants to seem like they're smarter and faster. You gave something for all of us. And I just want to let you know, on behalf of all of any listener or watcher, viewer of Leadership Live, if you have made us better, you've made us better leaders. And I know if we're better leaders, we're going to be better humans. So thank you, Brynn.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
I love it. Well, next week we are going to be on with the author of The Gaslit Brain, Dr. Jennifer Frazier. I don't know who this ugly guy is here, but that's okay. You're still going to have lots and lots of fun and get lots of good information as a leader to be able to help lead your people into the next, into their next chapter. And until next time, we will bid you adieu and just say thanks to Brynn for being a part of our world today.